Hello, I'm Sandy Arnett. On this edition of Commuter Connections, we'll be joined by MTA Administrator Paul Comfort for a look at some impressive achievements that have occurred under his leadership over the last year. We've got a look at the launch of Express Bus Link. Metro Subway has an upgrade taking place soon, which we'll have important information about. And we'll introduce you to an MTA bus operator who's been recognized nationally for passenger safety and professionalism. All here on this edition of Commuter Connections. Welcome to Commuter Connections. In an effort to improve suburb-to-suburb transit service in the Baltimore region, MTA recently launched the much-anticipated and welcomed Express Bus Link service to its transit lineup. MTA Director of Planning and Programming, Kevin Quinn, joined us at the big launch to talk about Express Bus Link, which is certainly changing the face of transit in Baltimore. So Kevin, today is the launch of our Express Bus Link service.
Yeah.
Now, I know that this has probably been in the works for a while. Tell us a little bit about all the preparation that went into today's launch.
Yeah, we really started looking at these routes back in 2013 as part of the Bus Network Improvement Project. And in looking at that, we looked at where people are living and where people are working today. Our bus system hasn't had a good redesign in 50 or 60 years, and it's time to take a look at these new regional patterns. And so we wanted to provide that suburb-to-suburb connectivity that Express Bus Link really provides. And so we started taking a look at those centers like Towson and White Marsh and Owings Mills that have really grown over the past 50 years. They're not what they used to be. And so, Express Bus Link is about connecting those centers and connecting people to where they live and work and play throughout the region.
Okay. So now for our viewers who don't know a whole lot about Express Bus Link,
Sure.
Tell us a little bit more about this service and how it fits into the overall Baltimore Link plan.
Sure. So, one of the big goals of Baltimore Link is realigning the system. And part of that realigning is taking a look at where our travel patterns are today and where people are living and where people are working. And one thing that we really saw and heard loud and clear from public input is that we have people working and living in places like White Marsh and Towson and Owings Mills and down around the BWI area that currently have to go downtown to get to wherever they want to go. And we want to provide a real robust option for folks so that they don't have to go downtown. This plan is really meant to link up those regional centers, and that's what Express Bus Link is all about, and that's the real piece it fits in the Baltimore Link plan.
It sounds great because if you don't have to come downtown, you avoid a lot of the traffic. But tell us a little bit about these new routes that are coming online and
Sure.
where they're going to and taking people to and from.
Sure. So we have 3 new routes from White Marsh to Towson, Towson to Owings Mills, and from the Old Court Metro Station down to BWI Airport. And again, these are important regional centers, again, where people are living and working, and we need those connections. We also have a modified trip. We have an existing 150 route that goes from Columbia to downtown. We're going to be extending that to Harbor East.
Awesome, okay.
Yeah, Harbor East is, as you know, really exploding in development, and we wanted
a lot is going on.
A lot is going on, exactly. And so we've extended our 150 to access Harbor East and help some of those employees and employers there.
Okay, great. Now I have to ask, what was the initial, when you first rolled this idea out to people, what was the initial reaction that you got? And now that we've launched the service today,
Sure.
What are you hearing? What are people, you getting a sense of how people are enjoying the service so far?
We're getting really positive feedback. We got a lot of positive feedback during the planning of this, during the public outreach phase that we did back in October, November, December, January, February. We did a good bit of public outreach and got a good bit of positive feedback about this, and that's what led to these the 3 new routes and the 1 modified route today.
Okay, so it sounds like this is, you really listened to what people wanted, took that feedback into consideration and move forward with the plan.
Yeah, we sure did. We did a good bit of public workshops, a lot of briefings with elected officials, and a lot of community meetings with a lot of community groups and advocates to hear what they had to say. These 3 routes and the modification of that Columbia route really rose to the top as meeting the needs of what the people of Baltimore want today.
Okay, that sounds awesome. So now I have to ask you, when is the remainder of the Baltimore Link plan going to be implemented?
Sure. Well, right now we're about to embark on a great new set of public workshops and public proposals that will go from July through September. Okay. And from there, we'll then move into public hearings in December and January with the ultimate rollout of the full Baltimore Link system redesign in June of 2017.
Okay, so that'll be right around the corner.
Right around the corner. It's right around the corner.
A lot of work still on the
Yeah, a lot of work left to do, for sure.
So now, if folks want to get more information either about Express Bus Link service or Baltimore Link, where can they go?
Yeah, best place to go is our new website, great resource for new information, www.baltimorelink.com. And we've got a totally redesigned website, much easier to find information that you need to learn about the plan. Some great new technology and some tools that we've added to the website to help people get a real feel for it and a real understanding. So the website is really the best place to go.
Very user-friendly.
Very much more user-friendly.
Okay,
for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us.
Sure.
We appreciate it, and good luck with today's launch.
Yeah, thank you, Sandy.
Coming up next, we'll be joined by MTA Administrator Paul Comfort for a look at his first year at MTA and a number of impressive improvements to transit. Stay with us.
Hello, I'm Paul Comfort, Administrator of the Maryland Transit Administration. Your MTA recently earned a Gold Award for Safety from the American Public Transit Association for its light rail railroad worker protection program. Safety is paramount at the MTA, and I'm proud of the entire team that's bringing the highest standards of safety to the men and women who keep the MTA rolling.
Since 2003, MTA has implemented the Roadway Worker Protection Program with 0 injuries or fatalities, not one related to on-track safety.
MTA's program includes comprehensive training and testing, strict oversight, and innovative warning devices. It also has been used as a model for transit properties across the region.
While safety, efficiency, reliability, and world-class customer service are at the heart of our mission at the MTA, safety is the most important element of all. As a Gold Award winner for safety among the largest transit agencies in the nation, we're committed to maintaining these high standards. Thank you, APTA, for this award and for helping MTA Maryland spread the word about the importance of keeping railroad workers safe.
Over the last year, MTA has made significant strides in improving transit and transit safety throughout the region. It's evident wherever you turn. From the improvement of transit on-time performance to the creation of Express Bus Link, suburb-to-suburb service, to recently added new mobility vehicles and an improvement to paratransit and other accomplishments over the last year. All in a continuing effort to bring the commuting public safe, efficient, reliable transit with world-class customer service. MTA Administrator Paul Comfort joins us to talk about these successes and his first year at the MTA. Welcome back to Commuter Connections, Paul. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Sandy.
Now, I know that you just celebrated your 1-year anniversary with the MTA.
Yeah.
And you really have a very impressive background. You've come to the MTA with a lot of knowledge and experience. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, great, thanks. Yeah, I mean, just on the comment of being here a year, you know, they say the days are long, but the years go quick.
Yes.
I can't believe a year's gone by already, but we've done a lot. I came to the MTA basically with a background of about 20 years in public transportation. I worked for government agencies and also in the private sector, both in operations, but also in business development, where I went around the country and helped cities set up transit systems around the country, and our company came in and helped manage some of them for them. I also have been a county administrator here in Maryland in 2 different counties, Queen Anne's County, an Annapolis suburb basically, and then the first county on the Eastern Shore, and then Charles County, a DC suburb. And so in both those counties I kind of managed, I was the CEO of the county government. So when Governor Hogan won his election, he called me and said, Paul, I can't think of anybody better than you. You've got the transportation experience, you've run big government agencies, and I've been involved in politics for most of my life. And so the MTA Administrator is a job that really encompasses all 3 of those functions.
So it made sense.
Yeah, and it's been a dream job. It's been wonderful to work with the city officials who've been so cooperative with us at the MTA and helping us roll out Baltimore Link. The other folks who work at MDOT, the Maryland Department of Transportation, Secretary Ron, all the other business unit administrators. We've really formed a team team and created something that hasn't happened here in Maryland before, which is one MDOT, where the whole agency, we're working together to get synergies. So when State Highway could help us during the last storm, they came out and helped us dig out, et cetera. So we're all working, helping each other now in the Maryland Department of Transportation. So it's a real honor for me to be here, and I'm loving it.
Okay, great. So with your first year, would you say it's what you expected?
No, it's different than I expected. I was not aware the state government and the state legislature had so much impact on our agency. I mean, we are a state agency. We're not, a standalone transit authority like a lot of states have, or, like WMATA in D.C. or New York, but we're a state agency. So it didn't really hit me until I was here and I saw, that a lot of what we do is controlled by state legislation. I mean, our unions are named in state law, the ones that we have to negotiate with. There are rules about how much fare box recovery ratio we have to have that are in state law. And so when we want to make a change on something, it's not like some transit authorities could just have their board of directors make a policy change. We actually have to go and lobby the General Assembly. So I spent a lot more time in Annapolis this year than I thought I would. But it's fun. I mean, I like that stuff. And they're great to work with, the folks down there. But that's something that was different.
Now, I know one thing that's on your plate is Baltimore Link. I know
Yes.
the governor announced that back in October of 2015. Tell me, with your plans for transit, how does Baltimore Link, and I know we just recently launched Express Bus Link service,
Right.
How does that fit into your vision?
So when I got here a year ago, I looked at, we have 6 modes, we call them, at the MTA. We do bus, light rail, subway, mobility paratransit, and then commuter bus and commuter train. All of them together, we provide about 380,000 unlinked passenger trips a day. But 2/3 of those are on bus. So 260,000 trips a day on our bus. It's by far our largest mode, but it was performing the worst out of all of them. And so we went to work immediately on all of them, improving service reliability, which is on-time performance. And so we got most of the on-time performances up into the mid-90s or higher. So meaning when you go out and pick up the subway today, it's on time 98% of the time. Light rail is on time 96, 97% of the time. Our mobility service, which was really in shambles when I got here, we've hired a guy named Carl Parr and brought in 5 or 6 new managers, and it's turned around. It's a national model now. He was invited to the national conference as the only speaker from a city transit system for mobility paratransit to say how we've turned it around. We're at 95% on-time performance with 10,000 trips a day. So that was good. But bus, we got it from about 73% on time up to about 85%, which is about average for cities our size. But like Governor Hogan said, come on, Paul, you can do better than that. And I agree. And so we looked at it and we said, really, we need to change the model. The old routes were laid out 50 years ago, before Baltimore was the 5th most congested city in America. They just don't work anymore. Having all the routes go on the 4 main streets downtown, Pratt, Fayette, Lombard, and Baltimore, it doesn't work. We have to open up the grid.
It's like a bottleneck down
there. It is, yeah, and that's exactly what happens. The buses get bottlenecked. People can see it. 1 bus, 2 bus, 3 bus, 4, they all get jammed up.
Right.
So we really need to change the model. So that's what we did. We went from this radial system of routes going downtown across the city to a hub and spoke. Baltimore Link at its heart is just a change in the model, from radial to hub and spoke, in and out of the city.
So with what you were planning for Baltimore Link, for instance, I know that they were soliciting a lot of public input. Do you feel like the agency has really taken that feedback from the public and made some adjustments to the plan?
Oh yeah, big time. So we came out with an initial service plan to basically create a system that had 12 color-coded high-frequency routes, like a backbone to the system, that pulse in and out of the city at 10 to 15-minute headways, meaning every time a bus will come to a stop every 10 to 15 minutes. And then we have Local Link, which is service 50 routes in the neighborhoods, and then we have Express Link, goes across the top of the city, down the sides, and across the bottom, so people can do suburb to suburb. So you don't have to go downtown if you're not going downtown,
right.
which you had to do until we just changed it. But we got a lot of feedback, got over 1,000 comments. We did 50 meetings on this thing, public meetings, et cetera, and we changed 86% of the routes.
And that's important because a lot of people give feedback and they often think it doesn't go anywhere.
That's a good point.
So it's a point, the fact that you're using that information and making adjustments,
right. I mean,
is important for them.
Coming here today, I just left a group of like 70 of our managers, where we were talking about changes that are coming in Baltimore Link. And I said, listen, if we don't create a system that people want to use, that takes them where they're going, what good is our system anyway? So we're really trying to listen to the public and make our routes serve as many people as possible, really getting them to all of life's opportunities, which is the MDOT mission statement.
Now, I know you have 4 cornerstones for the MTA.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that and why it's so important for you.
Right. Well, when I got here again, this is my 1-year look back show. So, so when I got here a year ago, I felt like our agency was kind of listless. you know, unmoored, without clear direction. People really didn't have a direction of where we're going to go. And, you know, the good book says, without a progressive vision, we dwell carelessly. And I think that's what was happening. And so we tried to get a progressive vision. Where do we need to go? Where do we need to look to? So I wanted all 3,000 employees of the MTA to look in one direction at what I called then our North Stars, which was safety, efficiency, reliability, and world-class customer service. So we're focused, I'm focused, our governor and our secretary are focused on we want to be the #1 transit system in America. And the way to do that is to have a firm foundation. We're never going to be the biggest. You know, we don't rival New York City or DC for the number of people, or LA or Chicago, but we can be #1 by key performance indicators. We can be the safest, we can be the most efficient, the most reliable, and the best customer service, and we're going to be.
And I understand that we've gotten some awards. MTA has been recognized nationally.
Yeah, we just picked up big awards in bus and light rail and metro subway. We won what's called the Gold Award from our national association, the only Gold Award winners in 4 different categories there for safety and security. We really have a safe and secure system, and we want to let the people know about it. This is a safe. We have a great police chief, John Gavrilis, a great police department, and it's really making a difference. We're real pleased with what we've been able to do when it comes to safety and security.
Now I have to ask you, what has been the feedback that you're getting from the public? There are lots of changes. Are you getting positive feedback? Are they starting to see that the system is safer, that it's cleaner, that it's, you know, more pleasant to ride?
Yes, definitely. When I got here, I heard 3 main complaints over and over again. Your buses are late, your buses are dirty, and your drivers are rude. And so we went about immediately to address all of those. And we've done, I could tell you, like literally 15 things we've done to improve the cleanliness and the sanitary conditions on our facilities. We have done this great customer service program, and folks are noticing, and they're telling us.
Well, Paul, thank you so much for joining us. It sounds like you've had a wonderful first year, and you still have a lot on your plate moving forward. So thank you for joining us. Hopefully you'll come back and tell us a little bit more once you maybe knock down that second year.
Absolutely,
right?
And I want to thank you. You've been a great new addition that we brought on as well, and it's brought a whole new face, public face to the MTA. I think you're doing a tremendous job, not only with this show, but with all the things you're doing. So thank you, too.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, yeah.
Just ahead, a look at a rail improvement project that's expected to have an impact on your Metro subway ride. We've got information on that next. Stay with us. With yet another birthday under its belt, Baltimore's Metro subway is receiving an upgrade to the subway interlocking system, which is expected to have an effect on Metro service when construction for the project begins. Joining us with a look at the project is MTA Manager of Services Contract Compliance, Scott Schell. Welcome back to Commuter Connections, Scott.
It's great to be back, Sandy.
Thank you. Now, it looks like Metro is getting a bit of an upgrade. Tell us, where along the Metro system will the construction occur?
Certainly. Well, it's going to affect a pretty good portion of the system between the Metro stations of Milford Mill to the kind of northwest, to the southeast as far south as Mondawmin. The stations will be affected. The construction will occur along the rail lines, improving those rail lines in between those stations. And so there's a total of 5 stations that will be affected.
So why is the work necessary?
Well, the work is actually standard maintenance that needs to occur from time to time along a rail line to make sure that the system is as strong as it needs to be to carry the passengers at the speeds we need to go to get them to where they want to go.
When exactly can customers expect to have this construction begin, and you know, how will it actually affect service?
Sure, I can help with that. The project is scheduled to begin Friday evening, July 22nd. And it'll run for about 24 days. The closure will be until Sunday at midnight on August the 14th. And so the stations that will be affected, that will be completely shut down, are Reisterstown Plaza, Rogers Avenue, and West Cold Spring. Okay. So that'll make Mondawmin Station and Milford Mill to the north open and almost a termination of a lot of trips. And so we're going to provide a bus bridge in the meantime to link those stations.
So now what is involved with the bus bridge? Because it sounds like this could be a bit of an inconvenience for passengers. What will they need to prepare for?
There's no way of me getting around that it will be an inconvenience. We're actually asking passengers to plan for up to an extra additional hour per trip. to plan for this because we're needing to operate these buses on the regular roadways amongst traffic and signals, et cetera, to get them all the way from one end of the station, Mondawmin, for example, up to Milford Mill. And we're going to provide two types of bus bridges. One, which we're calling the express service, will provide direct service from one end to the other and then back again. The other service, which is more localized, is going to stop along at each station, even the three in the middle that are closed down, to pick up passengers that may go there to park their car because it's convenient for them, so that we also service those passengers. We've also looked at accessibility access issues at each of these stations so that we can manage to board any passenger that needs a ride from one of these stations.
With the bus bridges, how many how many buses will you plan? These are basically shuttle buses, shuttle service. How many buses will you have available?
We contracted with a company that regularly provides school bus services. They're off over the summer. And so there'll be yellow school buses to help us provide this service. About 50 to 80 vehicles at any given time will be out on the road at pretty high frequencies.
And what are the hours that the buses will run?
We'll operate all regular hours of Metro service. So we'll operate from 5 a.m. to midnight, Monday through Friday, and then 6 a.m. to midnight on Saturday and Sunday. We won't strand anyone. We do have a process in place to make sure that we've covered all the stations before we close down every night.
And is there an extra cost for the shuttle bus service?
None at all. The shuttle service will be free of charge. I really want to emphasize, if you have no other way of getting to where you're going except for using the Metro, plan on that extra hour a trip. If you would like to, you can check with our information center on other means of transportation during this 24-day
And that was one question
outage.
I wanted to wrap up with. So as far as getting the word out to the public, what are you doing to communicate? Where can they go for more information?
You'll start to see sandwich board type communications out at our Metro bus stations. We've already done one radio spot. We're doing another. We're doing a video spot like today, as well as we'll start to put signage up at the Metro operations locations very soon. As well as a flyer is going to be created to hand out to riders. We're actually also hiring people to provide the service of what we call transportation ambassadors. They'll be stationed at each one of the Metro stations that's affected, giving out information about the bus bridge during the repair process.
Awesome. Scott, thank you very much. That's a lot of helpful information for our viewers. Good luck with the project. I know it'll be starting very soon.
If you'll have me, I'll come back and give you an update.
Okay, sounds wonderful. We'll take you up on that. Thank you. Coming up next, we'll introduce you to an MTA bus operator who's received national recognition for safety and professionalism. He's next. Of course, MTA's goal is to bring you safe, efficient, reliable transit with world-class customer service. But it's people, lots of MTA employees, who make that goal a reality. MTA bus operator Benny Williams is one of them. He's on the front line each and every day ensuring that mission statement is carried out. In fact, he's been recognized nationally for his professionalism and efforts in safety by the American Public Transportation Association, or APTA. It's a distinction we're all proud of. Mr. Williams joins us here to talk about the honor. Welcome to Commuter Connections.
Thank you.
So tell me, first question I have to ask is, how does it feel to be a nationally recognized award winner in transit?
It feels great. This is something that I do every day, so it's not normal to me, customer service and helping my people in my city.
Okay. Now, tell us a little bit about the award that the MTA won and that you were recognized for. What did you have to do to win the award?
Well, I had to go into a display, a bus display for customer service. And I was interviewed first. And so 3 people interviewed me and asked me who I were and how do my operators look up to me, as an operator. And I was telling them that I'm one of the operators that come to work every day and always trying to keep that positive note with me at all times. So they liked what I said, so they was able to finalize me and move me to the final 5.
Okay, so you're competing then with other operators across the country?
Yes.
Okay, so that's
Yes.
huge.
Yes.
So how many people would you say that you're competing against?
It was 25 that was
That
qualified.
made it to that round?
Made it to the round. And then I got picked out of the 25 in the top 5. So in the top 5, we all had to compete against each other in a bus display.
Okay. Now explain for that, when you say a bus display, what does that mean? What is
They
that?
set a bus up on stage.
Okay.
And then they have people come on the stage pretending they're getting on the bus. And I'm sitting down at the driver's seat. So the scenario that won it for me, it was 3 scenarios. So I had the hardest one. So they left me for last. So, but I handled it very well. The scenario was a disturbed person, passenger, got on the bus. So the people was getting nervous. So my thing was to keep them calm. So I let them off the bus, safety, and I told everybody to get off the bus, safety, and I'm gonna call authorities. So once everybody got off the bus, I sat down back in the seat and started trying to keep the disturbed person calm. So I was still trying to solve this problem. I said, the authorities is on the way. And that's how I end right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that takes a lot of courage too. So now do you find that a lot of it ties in the training that you've gotten for the job, or is it a combination of the training and just using, your own personal tact on how you handle certain situations?
It's personal to me because this is something I do every day. As an operator, I've been with the company for 16 years. You run into all different types of scenarios, in your work, 8 hours working. So it was normal to me, good customer service, safety. Safety is number 1 for us. So moving people and making sure they're safe and do what they got to do, that's my job to do that.
So now where was the APTA conference?
In Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your trip there.
Charlotte, North Carolina is real nice. It's nice and warm, good food, nice people. I really enjoy myself, so it's really a good sight to see.
And you've been part of like the bus rodeo where you have to.
Right. I was in the bus rodeo, and the bus rodeo is an obstacle course they set up where operators have to clear this course less than 7 minutes without hitting nothing. And I was competing against 90 people, 90 operators that won in their local city throughout the United States. So I was able to get number 5. Sooner or later, we'll get number 1.
Oh, you will. You'll get
we'll
it. But like, what does it take to even prepare for something like that?
You really have to be mentally prepared for that. You have to, it's all about remember what you did and know where you have to place the bus and try once, I'd be nervous before I get on the bus, but once I get on the bus, I'm like normal.
You're in your element. You're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm good.
That's good. Well, it sounds like they have chosen the right person. We're really happy, and congratulations again on your recognition.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining us on the show.
No problem.
Okay. We've come to the end of another Commuter Connections program. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Take care.